Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is Let's Play Telepath Tactics, and thank you for watching. Telepath Tactics is a tactical turn-based RPG, guys, and this game is extremely reminiscent of Fire Emblem. It draws a lot of inspiration from that game series, guys. From the tiny little avatars that are, waist up, from the ability to talk to units during combat. Anybody who's played Fire Emblem is going to recognize a lot of elements in this game. If you're a fan of Fire Emblem, you're going to enjoy this game because the battles are sharp and the stakes are just as high. If one of your troops dies, you lose them forever. Well, depending on which game mode you're playing. Telepath Tactics released on Steam April 2015. It was developed and published by Sinister Design. You can go ahead and get Telepath Tactics on Steam or GOG for $14.99. Now, like I said, guys, this game draws a lot of inspiration, a lot of ideas from Fire Emblem. Does it capture the spirit of those games? Abso-freaking-lutely. It does that in oodles and oodles amounts. But there is some things that are kind of weird and wonky here and there throughout the game. There's a lot of things I like about it. There's a couple things that just make me scratch my head. On the top left, there's a skip to the action button if you want to go ahead and do that. As always, we'll be starting off with these settings and talking about all these other little buttons here. The game does feature somewhat of a 1080p resolution. It basically just natively stretches the games to 1080p, which can cause a little bit of an issue because the text becomes extremely small to read. Well, there is a little button right here that lets you fix that, kind of. As you can see, it says info box font size 18, 11, 14. I have it on max. I have it on 18, and the words are still kind of small to read, and it's not necessarily a huge complaint. It's just something that you're going to notice if you have a very large resolution screen there. There's character movement speed. This basically goes for your troops and as much as your enemies. I highly suggest you putting it on turbo, if not instant, because watching the enemies walk to areas on normal is very, very slow. They really do take your sweet ass time to get from point A to point B. And when you're basically controlling multiple troops, or the enemy has multiple troops, it can get a little time consuming and make the battles last a little bit longer when they don't necessarily need to. Even though tactical placement of your troops is the key element to this game, watching the enemy move isn't necessarily my favorite thing in the world to do. There is, let's see, screen edge planning. Not sure what that is. Space info window. I guess I have that off. I didn't really mess with those settings, but they are there for you to mess with. And you have a couple sound sliders. So, the game does have a local, what they call a hot seat multiplayer. That's basically a fancy term for local co-op. There's no online multiplayer. You can kind of play a match and kind of, pick from, different kinds of match types, different kinds of boards. So you have 3 versus 3, free for all, 2 versus 2. It's loading up the map right now. Let's see if I can click on this. There we go. Sunken Fortress, which doesn't have a picture for some reason. It's not loading. A River of Fire, all the different kinds of designs here for you to mess around with and for you to enjoy with as far as its local co-op goes. And we're actually going to start off checking this out. Why we're going to check this out? Well, because it's going to give you a quick way to show you what different troops look like in this game. So we're going to go with free-for-all, generals. There's a couple different kind of game modes here. Last man is standing, capture the flag, all that good kind of stuff. Generals, I can imagine, even though it doesn't really explain the rules, I think you just have to kill the general of the enemy army and you win, or you destroy that particular army. At least that's what I'm guessing anyways. Army constraints, random armies, you can change all that kind of stuff. Ally pass through, we have that off. Fog of War off or on. Turn time limit, I've just turned to none just for the sake of this particular video. Respawn rate, you get the basic idea. You can kind of mess with a lot of the options. And there is actually a map editor, which I can only imagine adds to this aspect a little bit, a lot more, I should say. You can have a lot of different kinds of maps that you can come up with on your own. We're going to hit next, though, we're going to create only a couple of humans here. We're going to go with 3. You could name them, you can choose a color if you like. We'll choose green, red, and pink. And then we'll hit start match. Now, like I said, this is going to give you the chance to kind of show you off the different classes in this game. There's 23 of them, all with almost like 110 attack variations according to the Steam page. And this basically gives you a quick idea of what their abilities are, how everything's going to look like. Now, the AI itself is very kind of minimal. It's all like right down here. This is all the buttons right here. But when you click on a character, You, of course, get your little action screen. You can grab a character like, let's say, this little spectral character. We can be like, move here. Or where's my army, I should say. Who am I using? I'm using these guys. That's what it is. I can say, who move here? And this guy can fly, so he can actually go right over rivers and such. This is Epicurus, or Nick, I don't know what his name is. Nicotus. And it gives you a little avatar, and it shows you their abilities and their stats, and this is all very important information. By the way, you can see what I mean by the words. They're just kind of a little bit tiny. They're really sometimes difficult to read. I would have preferred to be just a little bit more of a bigger font size, but I mean, it's not a major complaint, but it's just something I noticed, especially when you're reading the dialogue of the campaign, which is something we're going to jump into really quick. So we're going to move this guy this way. Very simplistic, as you can see. How the movement works and all that. The graphics in the game are not my favorite aspect of the game. It's very flat. The areas themselves don't. I don't want to get give you a bad impression of the game. It's just the areas don't have much personality to them. Neither do the troops, for that matter. I mean, yes, they all look different. Like this one looks cool. I really like the avatars. I think those avatars are really drawn very well, and I like that aspect to it. But when it comes to the actual like units themselves, and you're clicking them and you're using them, you don't really get much of a sense of personality from them. Really, they're just very minimalistically designed as far as pixel graphics go. It's just something I noticed. It's personal graphic. It could be just a personal preference. If you're a person who enjoys a lot of graphics in their games, you're not going to get a lot out of this game. Even when you attack somebody, let's see if I can show that off here really quick. You're not going to see much. So I'm going to shift and turn. I'm going to shift and turn again because I'm controlling this guy. So I'm going to go this guy, attack this guy. This guy is a greater gold spraggot. And this also, you can mouse over. It does have a little tooltips, which I think is very appreciated, because otherwise, how in the hell would you know what to do, how to attack people? You can't, by the way, scroll over these and see those abilities. You can't really see what those does. But this is, by the way, your action table here. If I were to click off this character, it would show me just the basic action table, which allows you to go back to the menu and the settings and all that good kind of stuff, or end your turn, or rally, or undo an attack, or just go to the next character. Once you click on a character, you can go undo their act. So like, oh, I moved over here and I didn't like that move. You can undo it if it's your turn. You can also hit done, and that character will be done, and he won't be of any more actions. You won't be able to click on it anymore. You can also rotate characters. You can hit rally, you can hit end turn again, and then you can obviously attack. So we're going to attack this guy. And that's kind of it. Graphically speaking, that's the extent of the attacks, as it were. And that's just something that, it's an issue I have with the game. It's just graphically, it's not the world's most impressive game in the world, even for Fire Emblem standards, even for, even older game standards. The graphics are just not superb. And you can see the areas kind of just, there's trees, and there's environmental hazards in this game, I should mention that, and you can kind of like push people off cliffs and all that good kind of stuff, and depending on the class you have, I don't know if there's going to be one in this particular match. An arbalist, let's see, by the way, there is kind of magic in this game, but basically change out magic for telepaths. That's the basic idea. Instead of magic users, you have telepaths who can do stuff. So like, let me see. Click on this specter. She has mind blast, transfer, soul suck, drain, and possess. So let's try to possess something. Let's see if I can do this. Can I do it? Enthralled. That guy, I guess, is now my bitch. I guess he is. That's awesome. Okay, cool. I like that. That's kind of cool. I wonder how long he's enthralled for. Probably till we cure him, as it were. But anyways, each character has their own unique set of abilities and like really cool avatars. Like I said, I really like the pictures, the paintings of the characters themselves. I just don't like the overall way the game looks. It's just very simplistic for me. And it's just not my favorite thing in the world. So we're going to go ahead, like I said, there's lots of different classes you can see right here. Lots of, let's see, this is a photo curios. Oh, that's the same character. A Kadakis. I mean, all these characters have different kinds of class names, and I imagine as you play the campaign, you're going to get a better idea of what those classes are. So this is the machinist. The character can like build bridges. He can build stone bridges. He can build a wood barricade. You can see you can kind of play around with the environment in really neat ways. And I will say that the game itself, because of all these different kinds of abilities, all these different kinds of things these characters can do, you're going to get a lot of tactical gameplay. You can combine abilities and do different things in a lot of different ways. And I think that's what really is done very well here. I'm going to hit surrender for all the characters, by the way. There is no way to instantly end the map, by the way. It's just, you have to just surrender. So, I'm going to hit campaign mode. You can create your own campaign with the map editor. It is a separate download, from what I understand. You have to go and download it specifically, and then kind of figure out how to program it and that. So if you have that aspiration, if you're a person who enjoys map editing, you have that available to you. You just have to learn to use it. I should mention, by the way, the game doesn't feature any controller support or Steam achievements or Steam cards yet. That might change in the future, but there's none of those things. So keep that in mind as well. So there is also a tutorial here, by the way, which does a fairly good job of teaching you what to do. But if you're planning on playing the campaign, you can skip the tutorial, because for the most part it teaches you how to play the game during the campaign, which I found kind of a little silly, which is like you have two different tutorials pretty much going at the exact same time. You can hit campaign, you can start campaign. This is going to give you two different kinds of modes here. You can hit normal mode or casual mode. Normal mode, you lose your characters if they die. If you're casual mode, they basically die for that battle and they come back. And that's kind of the big difference between the two. There is a story here, and I'm not going to get too deeply into it. There's lots of dialogues you can see right here. It's kind of explained. It's basically kind of Fire Emblem-y, I should say. They kind of interact during combat, during the middle of the missions, etc., etc., etc. I'm not going to get too deeply into it. I just want to get to show you where I am currently at the campaign. Like I said, there's just those two different kinds of campaign modes. It probably will add that difficulty depending on what kind of map you want to play. So we're going to hit continue from where I am in the game. I'm like on the third mission of the campaign. Now the entire campaign is scripted. So when you go to a store, which you will get gold in this game, you will collect items, because items themselves are somewhat limited in their uses. Like if your character has a sword, that sword has only so many uses before it will break. Anybody who's played Fire Emblem is going to recognize this system. You need to buy a new sword. But the shops are completely scripted. So when you go to a shop in the campaign, you need to make sure that you buy the items that you will need for the next several missions. Otherwise, you could screw yourself over by, not having any swords or things like that. So keep that in mind. The entire game is scripted from beginning to end, pretty much. But you do have some sort of you have like a character placement mode. This is just a basic map right now. This caravan's under attack, and we're here to help them because the main characters are kind of nice people. As far as bugs go, I did run into one weird bug, and I don't know why it does this. But you can see that characters kind of disappear. Their avatar disappeared there for a second. So if I were like empty, click on empty and then drag it to her, you can see she's disappeared now, even though she's right there supposedly. I don't know why it does this. I don't really know how to fix that. Where is she? Let's see. If we drag her off, she's still there. But yeah, it's just a weird graphical glitch. I'm not sure what's the big deal about that. It can be something that can be a little bit of a bummer, if you're trying to plan out your group's position very tactically. But for the most part, you can kind of get an idea of what's there, as long as you're reading the tooltips. This is empty, empty. There's Emma. So our objective, of course, is to kill all the enemies and get to these green guys as humanly fast as possible. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make sure that she has backup. And then I think the rest of my forces will head somewhat that way. Wait, what? Why is there... Okay, so you can see right there now, Emma has appeared there. That's a little weird. That's not supposed to be right. They're supposed to be there. So I'm going to keep them there, and we'll put her there. Okay, then we'll hit start, and this should begin the battle. The green guys are going to start off the battle first, and then we're going to start talking about how the combat works and all that. A little conversation. I'm going to skip the dialogue. So basically, each character, by the way, as you can see, has like an arrow attached to them. I'm going to hit circle here. And you can see each character has a little arrow attached to them, basically showing you which direction they're facing. Depending on which direction they're facing, it's going to change a lot of things in combat. Why is it going to change a lot of things in combat? Because this isn't necessarily like Fire Emblem. This combat system is very different. Your combat is based off of your position in combat. I don't like that move I just did. I'm actually going to move her there. It's kind of based off of your position in combat. So if your character gets hit from behind, you're going to do more damage than you would, let's say, attacking somebody from the front. There are certain characters who get benefits from attacking from, let's say, the left side or whatever have you. But for the most part, you're going to be worrying mostly about your character's position in combat. So you can also click on the enemy like if you wanted to and see where they're going to be by the end of combat. So if I wanted to be smart about this, I would be like, okay, fine. This is Madeline. Madeline is an axe wielder. She's kind of like a fighter. That guy's going to show up there, so I want to put like Madeline there. And then have her wait. And then I'm going to have this character move there, because there's no way now they're going to get to her, I don't think. No, there's no way. So she'll be safe there behind the caravan, which is good. We'll hit done. She also has different kinds of attacks, by the way. She can kind of like put out a snare. There's two main characters, by the way. Emma and, what's her sister's name? Sabrina. And if any of them, by the way, die, it's game over. Which is very, very frustrating. I don't think they're going to be able to get to me there, so I'm going to put her there. Perfect. We're going to put you about there. Should be safe there. And then the archer can just go right here. And everyone should be done. We're going to hit Shift E now. That'll end the turn. The enemy will take their attacks. Because we're mostly out of range, there's not going to be much they're going to be able to do to me. And again, you can see that backstab mechanic at work here. I'm not a huge fan, by the way, of seeing the arrows on characters. I think it kind of makes them all look like they have, weird arrow penises or something. I just wish that you could turn the arrows off or something, because I can get a pretty good basic idea of where the arrows are pointing from just looking at the characters. It's just a little thing that I wish you could change up. It's not a big deal. It's just something that I keep in mind. You can see there's lots of tutorials. You can't turn these off, by the way. They're always going to be there every time you play the campaign. There's no option to turn off the notes, as it were. It's a good thing these characters can heal themselves, because otherwise they'd be dead. It's a good thing she killed that guy. Okay, I'm going to use her again. I'm going to use her sprint attack. Or sprint ability, I should say. Each character, by the way, does have energy points. You can see there she has 0 out of 8. This is all how you determined who does what damage. So if you really, it's not like, let's say, a Fire Emblem where you could say a lance beat an axe or whatever have you. You literally have to kind of look at the character's stats and determine who is going to do more damage that way. It's just not necessarily the world's, in my opinion, the world's greatest way of doing it. You just have a lot of staring at this screen and kind of planning things out. And most of the time it just kind of chooses who's stronger and who's weaker. It doesn't necessarily... It's hard to explain, basically. It just doesn't necessarily let you choose the tactics one would want in a battle. So we're going to behind this guy. We're going to backstab him. Going to take about 7 points of damage off. That's pretty freaking good. Okay. Oh, didn't mean to click on that. We're going to put her... She's kind of like the healer. So we want to keep her as much out of the combat as possible. Put her there. Put him there. I think he can blast that guy from behind the rock and probably do quite a bit of damage to him. There we go. He messed up his world. He's blinded now, so he's not going to be able to hit as well. I do believe that all of my troop movement I can pull off here. You know what? I'm actually going to start moving the archer that way. Rotate him to face forward and hit done. We're going to hit Shift E. That should end our turn. More tutorial business. I've already read that. By the way, if any of the main characters die, like I said, for instance, her right now, it will be game over and I will be screwed. And most of the time, the enemy is kind of smart enough to always try to aim for a backstab. That's what they're always going to try to aim for. 90% of the time, that's what they're going to aim for, is a backstab. This is why I was telling you, by the way, turn on turbo mode, because watching these enemies move is painstakingly slow. Okay, now I'm going to be able to get to her, but my character right there is kind of in danger, so I need to get my healer, whom is all the way back here, right? No, that's not my healer. Where's my healer? She's right here. How far does her heal go? 2 squares? If I put her here, she'll boom boom. We'll put her there. That's kind of as far as she can move anyways. Oakley dokley. And we'll have our healer heal her, because if she dies, it's, it's battle's over, which kind of sucks, but It's just the way things are. We're going to be able to kill this guy from behind, I do believe. Oh, no, we can't. We can't do that. We can shoot this guy, though. Or we can shoot that guy. There is a little bit of a distance, by the way. If characters are farther away, you do less damage to them. Like I said, the combat in this game is very sharp. It's very well done. Battles can be pretty long, pretty decisive. Even in casual mode, which is what I have this particular mode in, battles can be really, really tactical. You know, I should have turned that guy towards the back of the caravan so that way he didn't have to die. Oh, well, that's okay. Dead. Okay, and then you can go over here and talk to her. Little chat bubble will appear up, but you can mess around with inventory and all sorts of stuff in there. Ugh, they just keep recruiting him younger and younger. Run home, child. I don't want to kill you. Wait, we're on your side. What are you, from the village? This is no place for children. I may look young, but I can take care of myself in a fight. Besides, the bandits are absolutely everywhere. Don't you want help? Alright, let's see what you can do. Alright, so now she's officially on my side. Actually, undo that if you can. Either way, she's not going to be really kind of any kind of good position, I don't think. So we're just going to have her brutally attack that guy. And then we're going to have her move there, and then she's going to set a snare there on her back. Any enemy tries to get on her back, they're going to get hit by her snare, and that will stun them. Again, using your characters and combinations is always a good idea. I don't really think there's much I can do for this character. So she's done. Who's left? Yep, just end our turn. So what's this, another group of bandits horning on our kill? Come on, man. Let's show them what we means. Okay, so extra bad guys are showing up. They're going to take their humongous turn. He's going to hit my healer. I hate that guy. But that's okay. That's alright. He hit her. Alright. My archer's probably going to get whacked. Oh, no, no. He went after the other archer again. Now, of course, there's special characters like that guy back there is a special character. We have to be careful of him and his particular kind of attacks. We should be okay, though, for the most part. Melee characters do counterattack. I should also mention that. Oh, my God. They hit so hard. Caravan fighters, go! She can't decide where to go. She's like, I'm indecisive. Okay. Let's see here. Who we got here? We got bad guy number 1, bad guy number 2. Let's go here. Let's put an arrow into this guy's side. Let's put a mental blast into this guy's face. And then you should be able to finish him off. There we go. Beautiful. This guy's probably going to die a horrible death right here. Yep. Nicely done. Of course, you have to kind of pick and choose who in a weird way levels up, by the way. Depending on the battle. Because, you know, different characters gain different experience for killing characters. Not all characters are born equally. Let's see, who hasn't attacked? She hasn't attacked. So let's go ahead and move her that way. Really? 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 Okay, that's fine. That's really dumb. But, you know, that's fine. I'll have to accept that for that just happened there. This dude can move up. He hasn't done squat for like 3 rounds. He should have plenty of energy, by the way. He does not, for some reason. That's kind of shocking. Alright, and we're going to end turn. That'll be the enemy's turn. The game, like I said, is very difficult. It's very tactical. The combat of it's very well done. There's a couple weird bugs here and there. Nothing too big a deal that kind of prevents you from enjoying the game. Just only a couple things here and there, kind of like the weird placement thing and all that kind of stuff, guys. I don't know if we're gonna be able to win this battle. We'll see. She bayoneted that guy. Okay, we need to get a heal off on our main character if at all possible, who is extremely hurt. Let's move her there. She's going to backstab this guy. He's almost dead. Archer, finish him. I should have talked to the NPC when I had the chance. I'm such an idiot. That's okay. No big deal. This way. Go. There's treasure along the floor. And that's another thing I should mention. There's also treasure you'll find along in the map. Sometimes they're like hidden behind trees and stuff like that. Or like hidden inside of a house or something like that. And specifically on the second mission, I was very frustrated. Because it shows you these 3 treasure chests. And it doesn't let you get them. And it's like, oh yeah, you can get these treasure chests. But you're going to have to sacrifice all your troops to actually try to achieve that. And it was just one of those things that kind of made me angry. I'm like, why are they showing me these treasure chests if I can't freaking get them? It was very frustrating, though. I think this guy's already used up his attacks. Blast that guy from afar. Nicely done. You're done. Anyone else? You're done too. Anyone else? You're gonna spinny. Put your back against that thing. There you go. You're done. Now it's the enemy's turn. But yeah, you have those campaign mode. You have the arena mode, guys. Local co-op, map editor, 23 classes. Lots of different kinds of tactical decisions you can make in this game. I have to make sure that chick does not die. If she dies, we're screwed. Good shot. Good shot. Okay, hold on. Let me go talk to her now. Or actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my movement ability. There we go. Hold on, hold on. Actually, let's undo that. If we move here, can we still attack that? Yes, we can. So we talk to her. Oh, yes. Can you join forces with me? Yes, that's fantastic. And then we'll move here. We'll attack this penis from behind. Oh, he's going down. Oh, he's totally going down. And then finish him. Ugh, avenge me, Master Farah. Alright, is that the battle won? No? The battle's not won. Gosh dang it all. It's just about one, though. You get the hell out of there, because I think you have like no hit points, right? Yeah, get the hell out of there. Go over there, pick up that treasure. And put this down behind you. So that way no one attacks you. Alright, good, good, good. Let's have this guy move up. He's gonna put an axe in that guy's face. You already used your attack. You get an extra attack. Let's see. I think you can probably take the shot on that guy. Nicely done. You have no more heal ability, so you're going to just be done because you can't do anything else. Let's see. Would this do more damage than your crossbow bolt? I think you have no choice but to bayonet this guy. There you go. I think that's it. That's everybody in my squad, as it were. Yep, there we go. It's one last enemy. And he did decide to attack my leader, whom he almost killed. Oh dear God. Had he killed my leader, by the way, I would have had to do this all over again. And that would be very, very frustrating. Oh, thank God he did not pull that off. I would have been so pissed. Hit the guy, would you? Leveled up. Let's see, who needs a quick level? Do you need a level? Yeah, you need a level. Why don't you... No, you're already leveled up. What level are you? You're level 3. What level are you? Level 2. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and finish him. There we go. We won. It's battle over. It shows us our statistics, how many people we lost. We didn't lose anybody. We did actually pretty good there. Got some items, got some stuff, got some gold. And that's the end of the mission. And that's going to give us story stuff. If you skip over this, by the way, like I was about to do, you will never see this again. So make sure you read this stuff. If you're interested in the story, you're definitely going to want to read this kind of stuff. Looks like we found our first shopkeeper, which lets you buy armors and weapons and all that good kind of stuff. Because again, if you don't buy this stuff, you're screwed. You will miss out on this, and that would be bad. Which he sells like apples and bandages and all good kind of stuff. You want to make sure you get that kind of stuff, because if you don't and you skip over a shopkeeper, it could be a while till you see another one. So keep that in mind, guys. It's a fun game, very tactical, very good RPG elements to it. Yeah, you have to kind of compare stats, and it's more about placement more than anything else. And more or less, your characters are always going to be stronger, or your characters are always going to be kind of weaker than somebody else. In that regard, it can be a little bit frustrating, because I kind of liked, the ability to kind of tactically outwit my opponents. And I suppose as you get more and more abilities, you will be able to do that, guys. But yeah, graphically speaking, it's just not the world's greatest thing. If you're a person who enjoys graphics, you should skip this one. But if you're a person who just enjoys good tactical combat, this game does have it, guys. There's a couple little wonky bugs to work out, but for the most part, I had a really good time with the game. With that map editor, it's going to give you lots of replay value for you to enjoy. And if you enjoy the local, co-op as well, guys. So I want to say big thanks to the developer for a chance to check out this title. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, guys. I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, maybe consider hitting up that tip jar if you're feeling generous of heart. All tips go to improving the channel or future giveaways. Till next time, guys, play more indie games.